Now, a lot of clients are worried about there being just so many other people with the same career goals or the same background or the same ethnic background, and there's quote unquote too many people like them applying. How can applicants who are worried about those things make themselves stand out?
That is a hard question because you know that you're going to be competing with an applicant pool of people who are very much like you. So the only thing that I can suggest is that you show who you are and convince us that you are somebody who should be there. There's no real, if you're looking at people with the same test scores and the same, coursework and a similar experience, I would have to say that there's no template for this person will get in and this person won't get in. And and admissions is not a perfect process. People oftentimes we said at the during the first week of school, you're looking around and you're saying, I'm the mistake that the Harvard Kennedy School made. And yes, there are some mistakes, and I would say more mistakes are made of people we should have let in than we didn't, because there's so many good people out there. But you can only grow. You can't take it. You can't take rejection as a rejection of who you are. And yes, try to stand out, but you are who you are. And having said that, if you don't get accepted, that does not, first of all, it doesn't mean that you're not a qualified and good person, because we get way too many qualified good people. But that doesn't mean that if this is the place that's your dream school, that you shouldn't try again. Because when I would see an admissions file that I had, where the person wasn't, had been rejected. I hate that word, but the person wasn't accepted. Let's put it that way. I said to myself, let's see what this person did in that 1 year between their first application and their second one. And it's going to be a different reader. So don't take rejection as a rejection of you and who you are. Just say, well, this didn't work out this time. Let's see why. Let's see what I can do about it. Or maybe I should go to school X that did see in my essays a good fit. So it's I guess there's no guarantee of anything in this world, and especially admissions.
I've been very surprised when I hear clients say, well, I was rejected without even being waitlisted last time, so they really don't want to hear from me again. And I always have to work hard to convince them that that says more about the wait list than it does about you. The wait
Absolutely.
list is very short, so there are plenty of people who the school would have been happy to put on the
Exactly.
wait list or maybe even accept if there was room, but there just wasn't room in the class, or you maybe weren't the right fit for the degree program that you applied to. I have a lot of people, super young people, who apply to the mid career program. And I'm like, well, you may have had the minimum requirements, but you weren't as strong as the people applying with lots of 10 to 14 plus years of work experience. And then the one thing about the how do you stand out if everyone else has great test scores, everyone else has great work experience, is you apply better. And that
Exactly.
you write a more compelling essay that act and you all the stuff that you've been saying about being specific, being authentic, using the juicy story framework of what you thought, felt, said, and did. You may not be more accomplished. You may not even have better test scores or better grades than the person sitting right next to you who's also applying, but maybe you tell your story in a much clearer, convincing, persuasive way.
Writing skills are, in all of life, writing skills are skills that everybody needs to work on. And I would encourage you to think very carefully about what it is that you could do to make your application better the next year.
That's exactly right. And I often, when speaking with reapplicants, one of the decisions that I help them think through is how soon do I reapply? Because if you haven't actually done anything to enhance, or not very much, to enhance your candidacy for Harvard Kennedy School or your dream school in general, you're really wasting that second try. And in my opinion, not speaking for any school, I don't represent any school, neither does Judy. Every subsequent reapplication is a little bit, in my opinion, a harder sell because you've already
Absolutely.
tried so many times. So, the best time is the first time. The second best time is the second time. There's that expression that I hear a lot that I love, and I don't know who said it, but the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. And I love that expression, and I'm like, the best time to have done your best and
It's
submitted an
now.
outstanding application was the first time. And the second best time is the second time. So just make sure that your second time you apply is actually, you have done everything that you can to submit a really outstanding, your very best application.